Good afternoon. I'm Dan Hawkins, House Majority Leader here in the Kansas House of Representatives. Thank you for joining us again. Today we are joined by Chris Croft, Chairman Chris Croft. He's chairman of the Redistricting Committee and he's vice chair of the Insurance Committee. But Chris has been working on a bill for a couple of years now. He actually started working on it last year, and of course we stopped early because of COVID. He started working on it again this year. He's finally got it just about where he wants it and ready to bring it to the House floor, hopefully here really soon. The bill is House Bill 2066, and it's a bill about licensing here in Kansas, and specifically about people from outside of Kansas that may move in due to military reasons or whatever. It actually opens up the licensing for them. How does that work, and how's it going, Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Majority Leader. It's like you said, it's an occupational licensing bill. So if you have an occupational license and you live in another state and you want to move to Kansas, the idea is that you have work experience, you have all these things, that when you move across the state line and you want to become a resident of Kansas, that your knowledge, skills, and experience that you've developed over time, they haven't gone away. We just need to compare all that against what we have and then issue a license from here. Again, the idea is this is about talent management, and as we just heard from the Department of Commerce, it's the talent pool that really is the key component to building our economy here, and it's the key to everything we're trying to do. So that's what this bill gets after. How's it going? Well, it's been an interesting time because over the summer, the Department of Defense did a study as they were directed by Congress, and they found that, well, those that had implemented using the other language had actually not been taking job experience into play, and they recommended new language, and we incorporated that new language into our process. So we want to make sure we get this thing right. We do the good things for the people, but we also speed up the process, which is what you mentioned. The Department of Defense is really excited about the speeding up of the process, and they're going to use that across the country in determining the next BRAC. So when they're talking about base realignment and closure, this bill will really help us in that process as we move forward. So I'm really excited about it. There's been a lot of discussion on all sides of the aisle. It's quite interesting. There's been a lot of negotiation. I think we spent over 112 hours right now of negotiating time, and I'm trying to keep track because it's fun. Although it does get hard to figure out, okay, who said what to where and how it's going to go. But it's been a great experience, and I really appreciate all the input that everybody's done and all the patience that people have had in this process, and especially with you, sir, and the leadership team, having to deal with us and hearing all the sometimes negative because everybody's a little bit afraid of change. But I think this change is going to be good for the state. It's good for people that want to come into this state and live here and work and be contributing Kansans to our economy.
So when we think about licensure, we have lots of different professions that are licensed. But we're talking about, let's say somebody's married to a military member. They come to Fort Riley, for instance, and their spouse has skills. They have maybe they're a cosmetologist, or maybe they're a nurse or a social worker. It's all kinds of different licenses. This just really speeds up the process so they can get to work faster instead of going through a massive licensure program. It makes it to where they can really get into the profession faster in their new state.
Absolutely.
The state of Kansas.
Absolutely. That is the design. And the speed of the process is between 15 and 30 days or 45 days to once the application's submitted, that to give the state time to process the application. Now, from a military perspective, you kind of look at it, they really don't have a choice coming here. The country has said you're going to move to Kansas, so therefore we take a little bit of exception with them and try to speed up the process even more. We're not talking about great numbers, but we are talking about a large enough numbers to get involved. And the nice thing is in this process, one of the things you didn't mention, like educators. Ultimately in this bill, it doesn't take away from compacts and other things that are already out there. This is just finding if there's something that isn't covered, then this one kicks into gear. So it's almost like a fallback plan for all the other things that are out there. Look, sure, we'd all rather just have the compacts and not have to have anything else. And a lot of the professions already have many of that, so they're not even affected by this. But that's kind of what the design is, so they can get in here, get to work. And as I was saying about educators, especially up at Fort Leavenworth and down at in Wichita, as we're looking at as they move in, they PCS, they change the stations usually in the summer. Well, school starts in August. So you'll want to get them into work very rapidly.
Right.
This process helps them
Sure.
do that. So they can actually apply before they show up here, and then once they establish residency, go into the full process and get after it, if you will, and
Absolutely.
get to work and start providing for the families. And that's really what we're talking about here is people want to come here. This is a great place to live. And everybody, I mean, the people here are great. The infrastructures we have are great. So why wouldn't we want people to move here and contribute to what's going on?
Absolutely. And you know, we have been telling you for a while in all of our communications that we are truly striving to get business back going in our state again, to get businesses thriving and doing well. Well, this is an economic development tool for us as well. Getting these people to work as fast as they can, it's truly going to help our economy. So I want to thank Chris for being with me today and explaining his bill 2066. I do believe that that'll come up here really soon. Stay tuned, watch for that to happen. We're excited for this bill to get passed. We'll be back soon. Thank you for being with us. Good day.